What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today it's all about brand new Insta360 Ace Pro. It's a new action camera and it's made a massive news and a hype in the market, not just because it's a brand new action camera, but because it's got something in it which is at least a generation ahead of its competitors. It's not only a few steps or few tweaks they've done. Insta360 has actually gone out and done something which no one would have thought. It's a bold move, but I think it's going to get paid off. For me, this is exactly what I wanted. Let's talk about what's in the box. So you obviously get a Insta360 camera. It's a good looking camera. It's very similar to GoPro 11, 12 or the DJI Action 3. Slightly bigger, but nothing major. Also in the box you get a battery, which obviously you need that, charging cable, pretty standard, pretty basic, flexible adhesive mount which you stick it to the glass surface, standard mount. There you go, it's nice and secure. It's DJI Action 3 and they all are doing this. GoPro hasn't got to that stage. I'm not sure why. GoPros are my favorite. I'm actually shooting this video on my GoPro 11. It's heartbreaking for me to move on from GoPro because of the significant gap. It's just ridiculous to even think about it, like how it's possible. GoPro's got a long way to go and I hope they do something about it because they are pioneers of action cameras. They started this trend, so they got this thing in them, and I believe this will now make everyone else to think a little bit more out of the box. Insta360 has just, put the bar way too high. Now, how did they do this? Well, when you look at this, it's a bold red boundary around the lens. That is mighty Leica. For those who don't know, Leica is like a Ferrari or Lamborghini of cameras. They are the best of the best. They're known for its lens qualities and optics. They are superior, the best you can have in terms of the lenses. So starting off with, we got 1/1.3 inch sensor. It's bigger sensor than GoPro 12. GoPro 12, it's got 1/1.9. So in basic terms, it's almost double, roughly, which means more light's gonna come in and better the picture quality, especially in low light. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Sensor, it's amazing. It's good to have a bigger sensor, but the chip inside it, the stuff it does, crazy. It's blown me away. Along with the Leica lens, they have actually inserted a super strong micro nano chip. Not micro nano chip, but a nano chip. It's like a little chip. That's not relevant. Who cares what the chip is called? It's got a little screen in the front. That's not the screen you actually see what's camera shooting in terms of the video, but it tells you the basic information like what's the memory left, what resolution you're shooting, etc. Now, if you want to have a look what's actually the camera is shooting, well, simultaneously press these buttons and ta-da! You got this flip out 2.4 inch screen. How good is this now? Like when you're vlogging, this is a must. I know that the action cameras, the GoPro or the DJI, they do have a little screen in the front, but when you're shooting something, you have everything else around you. It's too much. The little screen is very limited, that information that you can actually see or frame yourself, and especially when you're vlogging for a long time, you get to tend to veer off and get tired, fatigue. And then with the bigger screen, from the distance, you can actually quickly have a look, glance, and adjust it accordingly. And to me, I think that looks cool. That looks like a proper camera. It's not like people from a distance were thinking I'm talking into my hand, but now it's flipping out. It looks amazing. If you do action, obviously you don't want this out and about because it's vulnerable, it can break, but have it flip back when you're doing something action. You're not looking at the screen constantly, you're actually performing the action. They are talking about the lens now. There's a bit of a negative thing which I've heard. They say the lens are not removable. It's an issue, but not really. Insta360 said they didn't want any moisture or any water damage to the lens or internal of the camera while users are changing the lens. That's why they have made it fixed to maintain the quality of the video and the integrity of the camera. But what they're doing now is if you buy Insta360, register with them, 1 year free lens replacement. Just have to cover the shipping cost and they will just get you the camera fixed if you break the lens. On the side you got a battery compartment here, which is makes sense, but to separate the USB-C charging cable and the memory card, it's a fast charging, which means from 0 to 80%, you can have it charge in 20 minutes, super fast. And from 0 to 100, I think it's 45 minutes. I think that's a game changer. When you're shooting something, 20 minutes is nothing. You just plug it in and it's gonna give you at least 80%. And to me, that's good enough. That's awesome. You're not gonna be shooting with this camera for hours and hours and hours non-stop. Like, you will be stopping in 20 minutes is nothing. At the bottom, you got the claws for the quick mounts. On the side here, you got the power button, and on the top, you got the trigger button. The power button also helps you switch modes from photo to video, hyperlapse, all that kind of stuff. It's got 3 microphones, one on the top, one on the side here below the turn on power, one below the camera. We'll go out soon and check the audio quality and the video quality out and about, and we'll compare this with my GoPro, which I'm using at the moment, and that way you will have a bit of a better picture of what this camera is all about. It's got AI assist. What that means is, let's say you shoot for something 5 minutes, but you only want the footage for the highlights. It will actually look into the highlights and give you the final output. Or you can go manually and select the highlights and press the output, and it will produce the final video for you, which means the long footage which you don't really need, it doesn't need to be in the camera. It frees up the memory. Let's say, for example, you shot 5 different shots, and number 3 shot, you want to add something to it. So what you do is you go back to the number 3 shot, press continue, and shoot. Now the number 3 is merged with the new shot, so you have that file as one. It's awesome. It's frustrating when you're shooting for the whole day and then you come back to the computer and you're trying to play all these footage and then trying to chronologically organize it. But once you're on the go, it's easier to do that. So that allows you to do that because of the chip inside it. Waterproof, 33 feet. Any deeper than that, you're going to need to have a case, but 10 meters pretty good. This camera's good to go in the water, no problem at all. And it's got a gesture control. I know we have voice controls in other cameras, action cameras, but this one does have that, plus the gesture. So you raise your hand, take a photo, stop the camera, all that kind of stuff. Is it a big deal? No, but it's good to have it. I mean, when you're in snorkeling, water, or anything where you can't talk, or if you're a bit distance away, it's too loud around you, you can do that now with the gestures. So again, happens only because of the chip inside it. Talking about the chip plus the bigger sensor, how does that change the game? Well, especially when it's a low light situation. Now, you're not gonna take this camera out, or you're not gonna buy these cameras, action cameras, and start shooting at the night time, because that's not the tool for it. You're gonna need other cameras for that. But the way where we are heading, everyone wants something light, compact, cheap. You don't want to have the expensive DSLR mirrorless cameras. If you just like someone like me who's just like to vlog, and every now and then you get into the situation where it's overcast, low light, you're walking from outside to indoor the room, with this AI chip plus the bigger sensor, it will actually give you better video. Not only that, it has made one step easier for you. It actually gives you a pure video mode specifically tweaked for that kind of situation. So if you select the pure video mode, you're shooting in the darker or low light situation, you don't need to worry about every other setting. With this one here, I hope Insta360 comes up with some sort of media mode where it's like slides into the thing, and at the back they give you the cable, because if I put the adapter here, the cable's going to be running out and to the back and into the, like, I have to buy separate the cold shoe mount stuff. So it's not going to look as clean as compared to my GoPro. I love my GoPro. It's a good setup. It looks clean. I got a Volta. I got a the media mode, and it's got a cold shoe mount. It just, when I look at it, it looks very neat and clean. This is not going to look as neat yet, but I hope since it's brand new, I hope the market, the other companies will jump in and start creating those accessories, will ultimately make it look like a vlogging camera. I know it's not a vlogging camera, but I absolutely love these action cameras and use them as a vlogging cameras. Apart from that, what does it do? It's got a 4K 120 slow motion. Also, this is the first actually action camera which gives you 8K video. 8K, that's massive file, that's huge, but that's a massive, rich resolution. The subject is too far, you double tap, you zoom in, now you have 4K, but zoomed in. So it's not like breaking into resolution and giving you poor quality. That's kind of situation I think where I would use 8K. Otherwise, It's too big of a file. FlowState, stabilization and horizon lock, every other camera's got it, those kind of things. So it's nothing different. So I think it's all about the chip inside this camera, which just amazing. It's just so powerful, and it does something that you wouldn't think. Like, you know, how Insta360 just came up with this idea, and they're just, you know, they've done an amazing job. Also, it's got this AI feature, the warp thing. Not a big thing, but when you shoot a video, it just, you know, computer does something and it makes you give you the comical and all that kind of. It's like a chat GPT into the camera where you can type it up and it will say, you know, I don't know, have flying cars in the sky or make the sky look like an aquarium. It will do it. Look, it's cool, but not a big deal. But again, the point is the camera allows you to do that because of the processing power inside that chip. That is the game changer. Now, how do you connect that? Well, you download the Insta360 app, which is, you know, on the mobile device, and they connect the camera. And once you shoot that, you can actually make videos and do everything on the phone as well. You have an option to offload the footage and edit in computer, but again, we live in the world where we want everything on the go. No one's got time and that kind of stuff. So if you are shooting something, if it's very simple video, you can actually go highlights or AI to do it for you, output up in the social, done. If you want to just have a little bit more creativeness, go to the mobile app and it gives you a little bit more tools. And then if you really want to go crazy, you can just offload the footage and use the software, whatever you use to make those kind of videos. Exactly what I needed. So for me to give away the low cleaner profile, I'm actually going for the quality of the video and other stuff I'm going to get. There it is. Well, let's go out and shoot the actual video so we can compare, listen to the audio, and we'll compare with the DJI Mic 2 connected to both, or we're going to compare with the GoPro 11, and we use just the raw audio microphones located in these two cameras so you can tell the difference. So beautiful day, let's get out. What a nice day. A little bit windy, but right now the audio you're listening is actually coming from the microphone, which is DJI Mic 2 that's attached on me. Audio is coming from the GoPro Hero 11, and the audio it's coming from Insta360 Ace Pro. I'll walk from the sun's right up there, so this is, you know, you can see. And as I walk under the shade, did you notice, is there much change? That's the tiny little thing, but it can make a massive difference when you talk about a video as a whole. Well, on the bigger screen, it's definitely look that Ace Pro is brighter in the shade as compared to GoPro, but I'll let you be the judge. This is the stabilization. If I put them to the side by side to one side, you can obviously have a look in the background, how much is it changing, how these two cameras are performing. I'm going down like full stairs, and this is the stabilization on both. Stand by for these stairs. All right, I'm not going to do anything different. 1, 2, 3. All right, stepping down. This is probably a good test because stabilization is important. Let's do a little runner. So, well, this is just rechecking the stabilization. Okay, that's my cardio done. A runner here, just to give a stabilization. None of the cameras are using any gimbals. This is all internal stabilization. All right, so this is going to be a low light test for indoors. So here we are, we're walking in. Both cameras are side by side. You be the judge. I think it's pretty obvious. The Ace Pro is much brighter. That's what I can see on the screen. And if you just go down here, I know you're not going to go into situations like this, but just to give you an idea, so how it changes from low light to high light. Even the GoPro kind of like blow the light too much, but where Insta360, when you transition, it's nice. Looking up here, we're going, and this also impacts the stabilization. What do you think of these two cameras and the comparison? Is more importantly, this video was for the Insta360 Ace Pro features, but I hope by comparing this with the GoPro, it helps you understand a little bit better. Before I go away, this is the audio you're listening straight from the Insta360 Ace Pro. And this is the audio you are listening straight out of GoPro 11. I will make another video when the sun's going down just to check how this camera operates in that kind of environment, because obviously this is not designed for indoor, inside the house shooting, but this is just a comparison, the lens size and the chip inside, what it does to the camera and the footage. In the meantime, you guys take care, and I'll see you in those videos very soon. Goodbye.